Welcome to V8 Online's live coverage of round 10 of the V8 Supercars official series. This week we're from Imola Grand Prix circuit, 30 laps. It's a bit of a fuel restricted race, so we're going to see 2 pit stops from the guys tonight. With me in the commentary box, of course, is Jake Burton. Jake, welcome along, mate.
Hey Sam, tonight, not only a fuel restriction race, but a strategy restricted race. These guys are going to be coming in pretty much every 10 laps. There's not really much else that they can do. You could maybe push for an 11th lap and try and maybe get a little bit of time in the pits, but honestly it's probably not going to be worth it. We're going to see these guys do 2 stops at the beginning of lap 11 and lap 21. So big race here tonight at Imola, Sam. A lot of big guns back out again. Rogers has already demolished the field in qualifying, so do you think he'll stay there?
Yeah, I think he's pretty comfy up the front. Rogers at the moment on pole with a 45.1. Next fastest car is Tyson Williams on a 45.9. Should be the same as last week, I think, with Rogers. If he gets a good start, can drive away from the field, and it's going to be a race for second. As Jake said, we are in qualifying at the moment. The guys are just completing their last lap now. So Rogers doesn't improve on his time. Nor does Tyson.
Impressive time from John Latham. We were speaking about in pre-race. You TTL guys are really quick this week. Obviously you, Sam, absolutely demolished me in the early race and then absolutely drove away with the Americas race as well. So you guys have got a good car under you this week.
Well, by demolish, if you mean I demolished your door when I hit it, yeah, that's what we demolished. Yeah, we have a good car this week, and I think it's going to show tonight with Rogers and Latham. Of course, we did 1-2 it in the Australian Online Supercar Series in Giro on Friday night. It's a strong car this week, but you never know what can happen. One bad start can put you back in the field, and one being turned around can change it all as well. It'll be interesting to see as we've got about a minute and a half left of qualifying now.
That's it, and I've actually seen a couple of cars that I was worried were a bit far down the field jump up. Corey Preston and Mitch McLeod, 8th and 9th respectively, but we must apologise, we're having some stream issues at the moment, so the quality is going to be a little bit down on what we're usually used to. Had about 50% frame loss earlier in the session, so hopefully that improves.
Yeah, new overlays playing havoc with us here at V8 Online at the moment, but of course the great commentary team that is Jake and I will continue to bring you the radio format of V8 Online tonight.
Sam, I think Twin Ring Matigi was probably the radio format. You couldn't see many of the cars, but we're out here tonight at Imola, as we said. Obviously you know your way around this place, having won a couple races this week, so what does it take in either the Ford or Holden V8 Supercars to get a good fast lap and many laps around this place?
I think the big key here is to look after that rear tyre. Imola is very low grip in the supercar. You kind of get one lap of goodness out of the tyre and then you're driving a rally car, some more so than others, and it's just about flowing the car nicely. A lot of third gear stuff. If you can get the car to flow through the middle of the corner, you're going to save that tyre. I know Rogers drives entirely differently to what I'm saying. He'll just point and squirt and probably still drive away. So there's a few anomalies in the field, but I think most of the guys are just going to try and carry as much mid-corner speed as they can and drive off as straight as possible with as little wheel spin.
Yeah, I think it's the straight line sections of this track that matter, your traction zones and your braking zones. Braking was something that I had nothing on you in that early race, Sam, so they're going to be the key parts in this one. But as qualifying's coming to an end, we might run through our grid. Joshua Rogers with an 8/10 margin takes pole over Tyson Williams for ANZ. Luke Harvey in P3. John Latham 4th. Glenn Postlethwaite making a nice little run up the field in 5th. Brian Borg 6th. Ryan O'Sullivan 7th. Then a couple of sort of uncharacteristic results here. Corey Preston 8th and Mitchell McLeod 9th. And David Morales rounds out your top 10.
And then the rest of the field, we've got Nick Cummings in 11th, Ian Bird 12th, Jordan Ross and Ross Rizzo, that's a bit of a tongue twister there, is 13th and 14th, Todd Parks 15th, Stuart Vaughan 16th, Mario Vlasic, who was actually quite far up the field in one of our races last night, in 17th, Anthony Mancarella 18th with Matt Morris in 19th, Bretton O'Brien, Craig Jones, Tyson Mear are 20th through 22nd, and Cameron Dancer 23rd with no time set during qualifying.
So that's your field, and we're going to have 30 laps around here, as we mentioned earlier. Basically, 3 mini 10-lap races, if you will. Of all the tracks on the calendar, probably the better ones have the short stints, given how hard the tyres were. We've got a 42-degree track tonight, so nice and warm for these guys, even warmer than it was in the earlier race and the Americas race. So These guys are probably going to struggle a little bit, but it's only going to be about 17 or 18 minutes before they can bring it into the lane. So, yeah, it's going to be a matter of looking after that tyre and getting it off the line here, Sam, I think. But it's hard to go past Rogers to win this one.
Yeah, I got to pick Rogers as well. I think it's going to be interesting. I reckon Latham might as well be able to put it 1-2 tonight. I'm going to go out there and predict a 1-2, not just the winner.
Yeah, Latham's always been a guy who's been able to put really consistent laps together over a run. Maybe not the best qualifier in the world, but we're about 10 seconds away from when we're going to be seeing our green lights. Red lights at least. So here we go, guys, starting to get into gear now. There's your red lights as the revs start to rise.
Replay.
And we're green and they are away.
Oh, decent launch, decent enough launch from Rogers, good stuff. Luke Harvey and John Latham as well. Harvey putting a nice gain there on Tyson Williams. Will Latham look around the outside into one?
He has. Tyson has put it in deep as well. He's going to be wide. This is going to be awkward with Harvey. These guys door to door. Tyson's going to clear him for 4 as they head up fast turn 5 and 6 complex. Looks relatively clean.
Borg and O'Sullivan side by side running through the turn 4. Preston showing his nose as well. Mr. McLeod in there too.
Oh, there's going to be contact. McLeod
just
off the road.
hip and shoulder him off the road. O'Sullivan's off the road. Oh, McLeod's around.
Yeah. Corey got into the side of McLeod there, and McLeod's just come straight across, got nowhere to go, and absolutely T-boned Brian Borg there. So Borg looks okay, but there's a bit of a shunt back in the field as a result of that.
Well, McLeod was very lucky not to be collected as he sat there stationary on the track as well. The guys did a good job of avoiding him. But up the front, Rogers still leads from Tyson Williams and Luke Harvey and John Latham. Postlethwaite running out the top 5. They've had a bit of a breakaway as well thanks to that spin. It's Brian Borg, then Corey Preston and Ryan O'Sullivan having looked down into this tricky double right-hander at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, O'Sullivan showed some really good pace in the early race in the early stages, but unfortunately got taken out a little bit, so he'll be looking to use that pace. I think he knows that Corey Preston's faster than his quality time shows, so Corey will be looking to get around Borg, who no doubt has a damaged car.
Brett O'Brien's got a fair bit of damage as well. I think he got turned down at the bottom of the hill.
John Latham running a little bit wide into the second to last corner there. It's going to allow Postlethwaite to catch up a little bit, and he's actually got a bit of an average run onto the straight as well. This is going to be side by side by the time we get to turn 1 of this iconic Imola straight. Postlethwaite wondering which side to go. He's going to go to the outside.
Yeah, I tried the outside there. It doesn't work as well. Not as much grip out there, and he's gone in a bit deep. He's going to pull it. He's probably going to lose it though on this turn in. Yeah, Latham held that position.
Yeah, that happened between you and Ryan there as well. You just get out there and there's nothing you can do. It's the guy who's got the track position. It's pretty much his corner.
Looking back, we've got Brian Borg, Corey Preston, too wide again into turn 4. This is where we had the shunt before. A bit cleaner that time. Corey wasn't running off the road.
Brian's still going to have a bit of an overlap if he sends it. It's going
Corey
to be there.
squeezed him a little bit. Corey very good under brakes if he's going to push it wide. Oh, he's off in the AstroTurf, no grip out there. He's bottled to fill it up too.
He's going to cover. Good on Corey there. He gave Brian quite a bit of room.
Borgie with the send though. Is he going to send it? No.
Here comes O'Sullivan to the outside.
O'Sullivan's got to watch though, because Morales is lurking in the background there, as well as Jordan Ross. Nick Cummings in this pack as well. This battle goes from 6th all the way back to about 15th.
Oh, Corey's made a big error.
Off the road. He's got to watch the rejoin here.
He should have cleared his slowdown from that, so he should stay in front of Morales. But Jordan Ross actually looking very racy on the back of Morales there as they head into the chicane.
Oh, who's around in the background? That's Todd Parks nearly around at the chicane. He's copped a hit. Stuart Vaughan obviously doesn't know this track well. He's clearing the slowdown that clears itself. So if you're not aware, some of the slowdowns on this track are just there to invalidate a lap time without giving you an off track, and they clear driving at full speed. So Stuart Vaughan's hit one of those, and he stopped the car when he could have just kept driving ahead.
A couple cheeky glitches around iRacing that you can work out and make things harder. But those guys are seemingly split up a little bit, but we're seeing Brian Borg on the outside. Ryan O'Sullivan. Oh, contact. Corey Preston. Gonna nick down the inside. Oh,
he's going around.
Corey's around.
Oh, he's just clipped. Oh, Cummings has centre punched him. I have a feeling Corey had that coming though. He's pushed his way through a couple of cars tonight, and Brian Borg's just done the same in return.
Yeah, the initial contact.
Oh, and Corey's just gone hard right into the fence at turn 4, and the director's just saying, with the issues we're having tonight, we can't get the replays at for this broadcast, so you're just going to have to see it as live as you can.
I honestly think Corey, although he did do some silly stuff earlier in the race, he was a bit of an innocent bystander there. The initial contact was between O'Sullivan and Borg, and Borg's just run wide, and Corey's just been net code hit, which has turned him around, and unfortunately Nick Cummins the worst out of that. So
yeah, Nick's had a good run this week. I think he's crashed out of about 4 of the 5 races he started, often through none of his own doing. He's just been caught in the middle.
Oh, we got another car off the road.
Vlasic and Ross running to the chicane at the top of the hill. Ross inside, gets it done.
Yeah, I just saw back in the field Cameron Dance having a bit of an off there, but look back up to Vlasic and Vaughan. Vaughan's going to go to the outside, coming down to the penultimate
Yeah,
corner.
not the smart side to go.
I don't think he had much of an option, but it's going to be a battle on the brake pads. And Vaughan's going to be deep, but almost have him clear. It's going to go on to the last corner. Vlasic gives so much room. Vaughan squeezes and gets it done.
Yeah, Vlasic was just a bit too tight to the apex. They could afford to run a bit wider and sort of hold Vaughan out there a bit longer. Gave Vaughan the option.
Parks and Mancarella are going to be too wide. Mancarella using the draft of Vlasic, but now Parks, he should have it as they head down into turn 1.
I think Parks was able to break a bit deeper there as well, because he didn't have to worry about running up the back of Vlasic. He's not getting... Oh, very nearly turned him around there.
Good job keeping it tight there by Parks. He knew he couldn't keep it there. Almost disaster.
It's up the front though. Rogers cleared out by 1.5 seconds. Tyson Williams are under pressure from Luke Harvey for the 2nd place.
Harvey's got really good pace, but we're hearing that Latham may be starting to catch up to Postlethwaite a little bit.
Yeah, 4/10 of a second faster on the last lap. Oh, we are watching Harvey and Williams as we do that though. Williams, sorry, Harvey.
Slow down for Harvey.
That clears by itself though. Just drive on, mate.
Some interesting comments being made in the text chat about the US servers.
Yeah,
we know
once again, it's reared its head. No driver in the server except for the one guy from the Midwest has a ping under 250.
Yeah, we love to see our internationals racing, but it does make it a little bit difficult. I remember the days when the system was a little bit different, and we got Aussie servers and guys like Tobias and Renz Brookman had to show up and race on those rough servers, but making the whole field do it a little bit tough.
Yeah, and it's given some weird penalties as well. Mitch McLeod got hit with a 7.5 minute stop and hold for cutting the course at some point on that lap in his pit stop. No idea how that happened. Nick Cummings had one on the last race, 3.5 minutes for doing the same thing, despite having never cut the track. So some weird issues coming up with this increased latency we're seeing on these different servers.
Rest of the field seems to have split up a little bit, but John Latham pulled another 3/10 out of Glenn Postlethwaite that time by, so he's going to be on him in the next lap or two. But we've got to remember, we're about halfway through this first stint, so these guys are going to have to pit in just 5 laps time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who actually can jump cars in the pit stop, who's better with their entry and they're pulling into the box phase of the stop, because that's where there's going to be a lot of time made. Who's the ballsiest on pit entry, because it is a very tricky pit entry. And then as we're looking at 11th and 12th, Anthony Mancarella and Todd Parks. This guy's been at it for a while, so we are seeing a nice battle sort of forming a train, so to say, from Jordan Ross back to Todd Parks. So that goes from 9th through the 12th, correction, 8th through the 12th.
Tell you what, since we've returned to broadcasting, I'm pretty sure Stuart Vaughan's been in the major battle pack every week, and the same can be said for a couple of these other guys. I think Ross has been in a couple of weeks, as well as Brian Borg, so these guys are getting very familiar with racing one another in these big packs.
Yeah, usually Vaughan's at the back of the pack and can't get through it. This time he's in the middle of the pack somewhere, so hopefully he can actually clear the pack and drive away this week.
Yeah, well, last time by, he was actually about 7/10 faster than Jordan Ross, so he's definitely closing that gap to 8.
Actually, you've got to have a look at 4th and 5th, Postlethwaite and Latham. Latham's well and truly there now.
Let's compare the lap times this time by?
7.3 for Postlethwaite, 7.2 for Latham, so a bit of a drop off that time.
Yeah, I think that's about par for the course of Postlethwaite, but Latham may be struggling with the tyres a little bit as he goes really wide into one. And
He's just mowing the grass. He's just mowing the grass, Jake. It's all good.
Oh, I think Latham is definitely one of those guys who hasn't done much racing since this new build. Maybe being caught out by the tyres going away.
I think he might have got caught out by the draft there too and braked at his normal spot, not realising he's probably doing about 5k faster and just gone deep. But it has broken up that pack, but I think if Latham can get in his groove again, he should be able to drive back up to the rear end of Postlethwaite. O'Sullivan has got a fair bit of pace as well over Postlethwaite, who's sort of going to be the cork in this queue. About 4/10 last lap.
In terms of strategy as well, it's relatively limited, but you can actually, in one of the two stops, take about 4 litres less than a full tank. In the early race, Sam, I decided to do that in the first stint, and it made me about 1.5 seconds on you. So Latham maybe might consider something like that to get some track
we just got to look, sorry, got to interrupt you, Jake. Jordan Ross and Stuart Vaughan are going out, and Jordan Ross decided to do some Formula Drift at the bottom of the hill, and he's doing it off the exit as well. That's not how you look after your tyres, Jordan.
Massive catch.
And I think this is going to be easy done for Stuart Vaughan. Vaughan's early on the brakes, so is Ross trying to go on the outside? He's done it.
There's going to be
great driving from Ross, but it's going to give Vlasic though. Vlasic is going to have a run out of all of them.
Vaughan maybe going to go for the outside, especially down into the second last corner, but trying to go to the inside.
He's on the grass, mate. The grass doesn't help you slow down. Oh, he's giving him a shunt.
I think that was maybe just Vaughan being a little bit too close. Vlasic's just going to have the inside in the last corner. There's going to be almost contact again.
It's a mirror image of what they did a couple of laps ago. This is brought Mancarella into it. I think they're all trying to redress as well. He's just asking whereabouts Ross is on the track.
And Jordan Ross really struggled to re-enter there. He was way out of the dirt. I think an innocent mistake there from Stuart Vaughan. He's normally one of the more sportsman-like guys, but when you're right underneath someone who's got a braking zone like that, it's not a hard mistake to make.
Yeah, he was just really tight under that rear wing, and he's probably gone off his brake lights, and by that point you've already hit them, so bit of a mistake there, but crack on. I think he's not going to try to redress that because Jordan's too far back, but he is ahead of his queue now.
He could always do the full Hamilton move and just back this whole pack up. Jordan Ross isn't far behind.
Just throw some blocks for a couple of laps with Jordan Ross to be in the queue.
Yeah, he'll probably be in the queue anyway, to be honest. He got a rear end punt, so the damage shouldn't be that bad. It's probably worse than Vaughan's car, to be honest, but yeah, with some clear track, hopefully Jordan Ross will be able to catch back up to this pack and make his way back through.
So now, just on your point earlier, Jake, about fuel, we have got the guy who's at the lead of the race who is very, very heavy on the fuel. It's well known that Rogers has a very heavy right foot, burns a lot more fuel than everybody. So going to see what he can do, because it is a very tight fuel window in these races. I mean, you mentioned you can take 4 litres less, but you're almost ending the lap with only 2 litres in the tank. So you're only really saving 2 litres of fuel doing what you were doing. So we're soon to see if he's going to make it safely though.
At the same time though, Sam, he's pulling a second a lap over roughly on second now. Does he really need to stress too hard about his fuel? He can probably save and still maintain the margins. I think Rogers will be pretty safe. It's going to be these little spots for track position. People might consider going for a slightly smaller fuel to get a run. But obviously a full tank doing 10 laps leaves about 3.5, 4 litres in reserve. You can use that. Later in the race.
Yeah, it's about 4.2 litres per lap. And we're just staying with the battle between Vaughan and Vlasic, with Mancarella hanging in the background. Todd Parks creeping up as well, just lurking in the background.
And Jordan Ross on his first clean back has responded with a 47.7, which is faster than every single car in front of him by about 4/10 at minimum.
Yeah, Drake's just saying except for Rogers, but Rogers is an anomaly, so we'll just leave him be.
Yeah, we're only considering humans here, but we'll run through the top 10. Joshua Rogers in that number 1 TTL Falcon, leading to a 5.8 second gap back to Tyson Williams. Luke Harvey rounds out 3rd. Then Postlethwaite and John Latham, those guys are spread out a little bit for 4th and 5th. 6th is going to be Ryan O'Sullivan with a bit of clear track to himself, as well as Brian Berg, who's in the same situation in 7th. But then we've got this battle pack, 8th through to about 13th. These guys are all close together. Stuart Vaughan, Mario Vlasic, Anthony Mancarella, Todd Parks, Ian Bird and Jordan Ross.
Yeah, then you got Matt Morris, 14th, Craig Jones is in there, 15th, David Morales, 16th. You got Nick Cummings for company as well. Cummings was involved in that shunt with Corey early on. Cameron Dance rounding out. So who's that behind? It's actually Craig Jones leading behind Nick Cummings now, so he's lost a few spots this lap. As I'm looking at these guys, there's a spin in the background somewhere. Yeah, then Cameron Dance, Tyson Meyer and Brent O'Brien are the last cars running. Everyone else is DNF'd.
This is going to be a really interesting pit stop phase in a couple laps because we've seen Jordan Ross in 13th has hauled the mail all the way back up to Ian Bird already, so it'd be interesting to see his time this time by. A 47.5, so Jordan Ross, that's flying. That's 6/10 faster than the car in front and faster than every other car in the pack in front of him as well.
Yeah, pretty much everyone in the 47s except for the two up front, Tyson in the 46s and Rogers did a 46 dead last lap. That's slow for him. Every other lap's been in 45 so far.
Okay, when are we going to see Jordan Ross maybe try and have a go here? It's deep for Bird into the hairpin.
How about now? He's going to have a go now.
He's going to have an overlap.
Just needs the drive. Yeah, well done. Just took advantage of the mistake there and on he goes.
That's probably made his job a lot easier because Imola is not the easiest track to pass in the world. If you pass here, generally the other guy can get a bit of a crisscross and you lose bulk time, but these guys are going to be pitting in about a lap and a half, so make some track position while you can.
But Ross can afford to take some time, but I think the pace advantage he's got late in this stint shows he doesn't need to go too hard, too early on his next set of tyres. Can probably save a bit more. Not going off the road would help as well, but make sure I go slow down at the top of the hill, just drive through it, mate.
He has, he's kept it pinned and Parks is going to have a look, but Corella pinches a rear a little bit there. Going to manage to keep it on the track, but that's brought Jordan Ross right up. He's going to be fighting with these guys.
Brian Board, pit lane this lap. He just pulled in front of the shot there.
That's risky because he's now going to have to make one of his last two stints last 11 laps. And that means a bit of saving at least.
Yeah, it's probably a lap short on everybody else. He could be trying to do something funky here and just short fill and jump a few guys, but I don't think he had anyone really jump.
Can
He's
confirm.
kind of on his own.
Pretty
we'll
much.
just check his pit stop time actually, Jake, to see if he's got a meatball flag, because his car's pretty mangled.
He did cop that big hit earlier in the race from Mitch McLeod, but
nah, he's all good. He's driving away, so he's just done a fuel stop.
That's really risky. I can guarantee you'll probably see almost every car in the field pitting this time by, so that's a bit of an alternate strategy. We said we wouldn't see much, but now Ross all over the back of Todd Parks. Equally so, Todd Parks all over the back of Anthony Mancarella though.
This is going to be interesting. If they all pit this lap, who's going the deepest? Who doesn't want to shunt someone? Or Park's a bit loose coming down that left-hand kink.
It's a bit of a difficult pit entry, Sam, because you can't actually see, I guess you'll say, the commitment cone on the line until you're right on the brakes already. So these guys hopefully have practiced their pit entries, otherwise we could see a bit of carnage down.
Oh, and it's narrow to the point if you chirp on those rears and you hit the fence, you're blocking it. No one's pitting. And there's no room to go around this lap. There is no room to go around again.
Oran Park is a track that's a lot like that. We saw a big shunt a few years ago in V8 Scops with Mitchell McLeod, I think.
Yep, pretty much everyone in the lane, all the way back to Rona, Sullivan, Vaughan, Vlasic, everyone should be in this lap.
Ross
there might be a few who go a lap longer.
Ross has a lot of faith in the guys in front right now.
Vlasic going another lap. Ian Bird going another lap. Oh, he's giving his teammate a shunt. Maybe he's trying to gain a position, shunt your teammate to the speeding penalty.
Oh, that's not a great move for a teammate there, but another problem with this track is these guys all pitting together. It's going to be hard to find your box.
Tyson Williams actually lost a fair bit of time, about 2 seconds in their stop, and Rick Harvey's inside Tyson Williams, and we saw this in America's race. If you're inside each other, you can drive like that out the pit lane. Who's going to have the better drive? Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson, obviously I don't think Harvey would have been able to see.
Oh, Harvey's almost crossed the line early, yeah.
He's actually going to have almost an overlap.
Oh, he backed out. Stay in it, mate. You were there.
Oh. Yeah, that was... That could be that short fuel from Harvey, maybe. I'm starting
Just
to
saved a
think.
bit of fuel. Or you might have just saved a bit of fuel. I don't think you want to take your short fuel in this stop, because you're then shooting yourself on the foot for the last shot.
We want to have a look at Mario Vlasic, actually, because he went around another lap and will be the effective race leader. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it around. Normally he can only make it to about the chicane that he's at now. He's obviously saved some fuel, so good on Mario, managing to do 11 laps. That's what Brian Borg is going to have to do this time by, because he only did 9 in the first. See Mario, he should pit this time by. Yeah, we're going to see Mario into the lane.
So even though he went a lap longer, he'll still have to fill up as much as everybody else. He'll just have that extra short stop at the last stint.
Yeah, that's right. But that'll be the field cleanse now. Joshua Rogers will maintain the race lead. Williams and Harvey still not backing down though.
Ross is just... Oh, I think Stuart Vaughan's actually just readjust to Jordan Ross there. I was wondering why Vaughan had dropped so far back. But he's just redressed his mistake earlier on, Ross there. And actually parks his through on Mancarello and cleared out quite a fair bit.
Harvey to the inside of Tyson. Takes a
Nah,
little
not
bit of
going
a
to
look.
be there. Turn 1's a tricky spot to pass. There's kind of a odd braking zone. So it's almost like you can't really do it there unless you're right alongside before you hit the brakes.
Yeah, it's so dependent on having a car that's good under brakes into there. Personally, my car just couldn't get it stopped down there, had to brake almost at the 250 board, but other cars like yours, Sam, you could almost get on it at the 200, so it's really going to depend on how good and how committed these guys can be under brakes. Being a chicane, if you go too deep, it's an absolute disaster on exit.
It's even worse if a chicane because it throws you in the third corner. So you mess up one, you sort of screw the last two over. But this Williams-Harvey battle is interesting because Williams seems a bit loose in the rear at the moment, sliding the car all over the place. He's driving a rallycross car rather than a supercar, it seems.
Just looking a little bit further back, Mancarello tried to have a lunge that time by on Ross, but I think Ross has passed him early in the lap, so that's going to be Jordan Ross getting a bit of a gap now, and he'll now focus on chasing down Todd Parks.
Yeah, his teammates absolutely cleared out. 3 seconds from being behind by about a half a second. So he's done a great job in these early laps of this stint.
Harvey, once again looking a bit racy on the back of Tyson. Harvey seems to be struggling a little bit to sight those apexes behind Tyson Williams there.
Looks like Harvey's car's got good drive, but not as much point as Tyson has in his ANZ Falcon. And I think around here, drive is good, but you've got to get to the corner as well. It's a debate Rogers and I had earlier in the week about what's better, drive or turn, and he went with turn, I went with drive, and we're both achieving the same result.
And Craig Jones having an unnecessarily long pit stop, maybe having to repair some damage.
The car wasn't too beaten up though. It looked fairly clean from what I saw earlier on, so could be this penalty bug we were talking about earlier, Jake.
Potentially, but just distract us for a little bit. Harvey looking ever closer on Tyson Williams. I think Tyson's got pretty decent braking power in that car, so he's going to have a lunge if he wants to get round Tyson.
I do think Tyson's overdriving it right now though to stay in front. Or as I say that, Harvey's trying to jump the curb there.
Yeah, you can see Tyson's throwing it in really deep and having to slow up heaps at the apex to get it rotated.
Yeah, and he's just sort of pushing once you get to the apex, sort of sliding past the ideal slip angle of the car, and it's not working for him. Harvey's just not pushing as much and is looking after that tyre a bit more.
Yeah, Harvey's car just looks so much more planted, but we're hearing just behind that Latham and O'Sullivan maybe having a little bit of a brawl.
Actually, we've got Vlasic and Mancarello, this is for 10th position, side by side into the bottom half of the track. Vaughan in the background as well for 12th position. Vaughan once again at the back of the 3-car chain. train. He just can't escape.
Oh, and he's in deep as well.
So I'm thinking by what Craig Jones is saying in chat at the moment that he has had that penalty issue.
Harvey and Tyson into turn 1. Harvey shows a nose but pulls back in. Harvey has so much straight line compared to Tyson just in that draft. Pulls straight up to him.
That's what draft does, Jake. It pulls you up to cars.
Yep. Yep, that's right, yep. Anyway.
Sorry, Jake, but I couldn't resist that one, mate. Our director's lost the plot. I think the cameras are busted. He's just gone crazy at the moment.
I'm too tired for this.
Well, you did race hard in the last race, mate. Tried your best. Yeah, so before we get too sidetracked from the racing, we have got another series starting this Sunday night, Carrera Cup Australia Championship from Bathurst in the wonderful new Porsche released by iRacing. You'll hear Jake's familiar voice, and regularly you'll hear mine, but I won't be there this week, so we don't know who's talking to Jake yet. Might be Jake and Jake.
Jake and Jake, eh?
Yeah. Just you, Jake. Me, myself, and Jake.
Oh, right. I thought we were suggesting Jake Maloney. We heard him once make a commentary effort on Race Spot.
A brilliant Race Spot debut. One hit wonder. We should get back to the racing though, Jake, because there is a couple of hours on track.
We really should, but
battle for second, battle for fourth. We've also got one for what, 8th or 10th back?
We're about halfway through this one, still scraping the bottom of the barrel. But Harvey still struggling to get around Tyson. We know Harvey's going to have better tyre wear. He's definitely got a more planted car, so maybe he's just waiting for the last couple laps of this stint to make his move. And Latham again starting to close on Postlethwaite.
So, hearing from people in the YouTube chat, if you aren't paying attention to it, if you go rewind on the stream, it's a good watch. If you're watching live, it's a bit stuttery, so I suggest rewinding a little bit and you might get a better quality stream. We do apologise for the live stutteriness. We're just trying to sort it out. We had the same issue sort of last week, but not as bad. Imola's a bit harder on the hardware than Zandvoort. Let's look at Ross and Vlasic. Vlasic is, 10th position now. Ross up to 9th. Hasn't really gained on his teammate either. In fact, his teammate's checked out another 3 seconds.
Yeah, Ross was quick earlier in the stint, but we know he's made a couple big moves early in this race, early in this stint, should I say? So maybe pulled a little bit too much out of these tyres.
We've also got that battle between Tyson and Williams, and Luke Harvey's cracking on. Latham and Postlethwaite has tightened up quite significantly as well. It's the closest we've seen them all since that mistake from Latham. Also checking back in the field, Vaughan's right behind Mancarelli. He's actually right under his rear wing coming out of this double right at the bottom of the hill. Running towards the top of the hill at the chicane there. Vaughan shows the nose, not quite there.
It's been the story of the last 3 weeks of Stuart Vaughan, hasn't it? Just had the pace but not been able to do anything with it. He may have another big dive down the bottom of the hill, but it's a big dive if he does do it.
He's pulled out before he hit the brakes. He's like,
missed it.
He's on the left hand. Yeah, that's not happening. That was never going to work.
He needed to follow the trajectory of the track a little bit. He sort of got caught behind, didn't sight the apex of that little right kink, and that's just spat him way out wide, and he couldn't get on the brakes.
So jumping up to Latham, Postlethwaite, this battle for 4th position. I tipped Latham to be 2nd place. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I don't think he'll be 2nd in this race, but he's right on the tail of Postlethwaite for 4th. And I think if these two battle too much longer, we'll see O'Sullivan, who's drifting it out of the hairpin, right with him as well.
Yeah, Latham just struggling a little bit with that draft. Although Postlethwaite's got the fishing line reeling him straight in, though, he just seems to be not able to sight those apexes. Latham, a lot of understeer. It just seems like it's just not getting rotated past the apex. You see it there as well, almost off the track, just won't turn past the apex.
Did I hear you right, Jack, and said Postlethwaite had the fishing reel out?
Yeah.
Postlethwaite doesn't want to be reeled at all. Latham has the fishing line out. Latham's the one reeling. Postlethwaite's the fish. I think Jake's just gone to bed. It's just me now, Jake's gone to bed.
Yeah. Yep. No words, really. Yeah. John Latham.
Stuart Vaughan side by side with Ian Bird. I think Bird was trying to clear the slowdown. Didn't keep the foot in it though. Actually, hang on, is Vaughan's dropped off. So Vaughan got the slowdown. Vaughan, I'll have to talk to him after the race and we'll talk about just keeping the boot planted in those slowdowns because it's cost him a couple of spots now.
Deep again though.
He got to stop this time and didn't shunt anyone, so that's a plus. 1 out of 3 times ain't bad.
Latham catching up to the back of Postlethwaite once again. These guys starting to look a little ugly on these older tyres now. This is when we thought we'd see both Latham and Harvey starting to pounce, but it's actually not working out as well as we thought for them both.
I think there's a bit more error effect on the cars in this build, and being 3rd and 4th gear stuff, the guys behind are burning those fronts a lot more. I mean, I know we talked about the rears being key at the start of the race. You can't turn the car, you can't drive the car straight off the corner, so pit guys are struggling with some turn at the moment.
They actually have a bit of a negative effect both ways, Sam. As you know, you can have understeer induced oversteer, so if you try and turn the car and then use the throttle to turn it, it can snap into oversteer if you've got too much lock, so it can end up actually hurting your rears if you've got understeer, especially at a track like this.
Yeah, so we were saying, Jake, while Harvey's dropped off, Latham's actually stuck with him quite well here, so Harvey might struggle just late in the stint with tyres compared to Williams, whereas Latham looks to be a bit stronger than he was in his last stint. He might have got just used to the car, how it felt over the 10-lap run. He's right under that rear wing of Postlethwaite now exiting the final corner. Better run from Latham as well, stood up nicely on that curb.
Yeah, as well, Harvey's probably going to want to make the move because we saw he had a 2-second faster stop than Tyson last time by, so the opposite's going to be this time, I think. But Postlethwaite's very deep. Yeah, he was watching the mirrors then. He was watching Latham coming up in the draft and just completely missed his brake marker. But has that actually worked positively?
Well, the slowdown's not that big though, so.
Oh, here he comes, slowing up through the chicane.
Yeah, this isn't one of those ones you can keep your boot in and clear though, so we'll see what happens. Postlethwaite holds the inside, maybe to try and get it cleared while at the apex. Latham has to go a long way around.
And that's going to work for him. He's got
Get the drive, John. Get the drive.
Oh, this is dangerous. These guys are close.
Who's deepest on the brakes? John. Can he get around the outside? It's going to be tricky to do.
Oh, Postlethwaite maybe having to slow up a little bit more for that slowdown, but now he's got the run. This is dangerous. You don't want to go too wide down here, boys.
Nah, throw it in there. Oh. Throw it in there, John. Postlethwaite off the track.
Latham perfectly anticipated Postlethwaite going wide.
He's just giving a bit of a touch up to Postlethwaite. He was coming back on the track there. It's kind of killed O'Sullivan's run because he could have had a run into the chicane here. But John No Fear Latham throws it in there. Gives no room anyway for Postlethwaite because he was going off the road. No need for racing room, he's already off the track.
If Postlethwaite managed to keep that on the track, there would have been an accident. So that's
a major accident. It would have collected all 3 cars.
That's either dumb luck or really smart driving there from John Latham. As Sullivan really wide into the second to last corner.
Probably the closest he's been in a while and is feeling that draft a bit more. And just not adjusting his braking points as necessary.
Notice 20 seconds. Josh Rogers, 20-second lead over Tyson Williams right now. But Luke Harvey dropping further back behind Tyson Williams. So I'd say Tyson, if he can keep his nose straight, is pretty much going to have the run straight to the line with second place.
Yeah, we never know what might happen though if Harvey, because he had that significant new tyre advantage it seemed over Tyson, if he can get that with a bit of clean air, so he's not as bunched up under Tyson as he was last time, he might be able to make something of it. Yeah,
these guys are going to have to pit as well in about a lap and a half's time. We'll probably see Brian Borg if he's still circulating. Yep, he's actually moved up to P7, so he's going to probably pit this time by because he pitted a lap early last time.
Yeah, he might have to save a bit to get it done, I think, as well. So we've still got this battle between, or not quite as big battle as I thought it was between Ross and Vlasic. It looks like the main battle is going to be between O'Sullivan and Postlewaite at the moment, as O'Sullivan's got a great run all out of it. So look
back in
at
the
Brenton
field.
O'Brien with
Dance.
yeah, the Commodore, or the Commodore Cruise, sorry, from Brenton O'Brien.
This is just looks like Cameron Dance's car is dead straight. So, oh no, I've seen the front end.
Wow.
Cameron Dance with a perfectly intact rear end of that Commodore, but the front end not looking so healthy.
So I reckon what Cameron should do is get the front end from Brenton's car, make his car better,
There
and
is
then give him the back end of
entirely
his car.
straight, yeah, one entirely straight V8 supercar between these two.
Maybe if they do the whole merging into each other in pit lane, we'll have a nice clean car.
Yeah, though one completely different colour scheme, but
It's just mix and paint.
I don't know. Ryan Borg in as we expected, so he's gonna have to do. No, he's gonna
He'll
have
be
to.
fine. You don't have to do 10 laps. He'll do 10 laps.
No, he's
Wait,
gonna have to
11.
do 11. Yeah, he's gonna have to be a
That's
lot
achievable.
stiff
It's
before.
achievable. You do it in the first one anyway. You do 11 laps pretty much. You can do 11 laps.
Yeah, he should be able to manage. We'll need an absolute full tank in that
But you should
car,
see
though.
everyone else in this lap though, except for Vlasic and Bird because they went a lap longer last stint. Unless they do pit now to get that short fuel advantage. Because if they go a lap longer, they've just thrown it away.
Yeah, pretty much. You're throwing it away. You're still going to get a slightly shorter fuel because you'll have more fuel in the car. But yeah, those guys should be in next lap by. But let's take a look with Josh Rogers. He hasn't seen much this race, but he's coming out of the last corner now. He's going to make his way into the pits. 10, 10, 10 for Josh Rogers, and he's led every one of them. So
Vlasic led a lap, I think.
I think he would have stopped before the line, maybe. Oh, well, good on Mario Vlasic, has led a lap in this one, so
Too bad it's not NASCAR and don't get bonus points for leading laps.
that would be cool though. No, the OSR V8 series has some pretty cool stuff
Some
like
cool,
that.
pretty good rules.
Yeah. I actually took the day off work today because I was too tired and felt sick, so
You're,
probably not the...
you're well and truly cooked tonight, Jake.
Yeah. A little bit confused by the pit lane here at Imola. Why the guys are actually stopping halfway down. I don't know why the pit boxes don't go all the way to the end. But
They just forgot to build more garages. They ran out of money halfway down the complex. Just said, I will just wall it in.
Anyway,
I think it probably has something to do
Rogers
with the
is
way.
down.
It probably has something to do with when they remodeled the track.
Yeah, Rogers is down and out, so he's got 10 laps to get home, and as expected, Vlasic is going around again, but everyone else pretty much is in the lane. O'Sullivan's there, Todd Parks on the way in. It's going to be interesting between Harvey and Tyson. Harvey's got out in front of Tyson. What a play. I don't know how he's managed that with a 2 second shorter first stint. Maybe Tyson doing something wrong with the fuel.
It could just be bad stops from Tyson. It could be a weak entry, not pulling out his box as fast as possible, sort of thing. So there is time to make up just on pit lane alone. Yeah, I think Harvey will drive away now. Tyson drifting it.
This is his chance. If he wants early track position, he's got to do it now, but Harvey covers nicely.
Have a dig, mate. Have a dig.
Oh, Tyson.
He's got good brakes in that thing. That car stops quite well.
Must be a Falcon thing.
Yeah, maybe that's why we switched to the Falcons. Maybe that's why I'm in the Falcon now. Much better car.
Better brakes. You
Yeah.
heard it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Nothing to do with team uniformity at all.
Tyson Williams, he's going to have to do something, I reckon, in his next couple of laps, because we
So,
saw
Jake,
Harvey was quick at the first, but what's going on?
Postlethwaite has been jumped by Ryan O'Sullivan in the pit stops.
What's going on? Oh, now he's off!
Oh, Postlethwaite's oh, he's gathered it. Formula Drift.
Then Postlethwaite, the Synergy Sim Racing S15 Sylvia there. Big Tyson. Oh, he's deep into the second to last corner.
Oh, I nearly gave him a shunt.
He's gonna have to get a. He's run wide in the last corner there. That's not done him any favours because there's no grip on that AstroTurf. But we've seen Ian Bird make his way into the lane.
But he has got the draft, and Luke Harvey's got the fishing reel out.
Vlasic and Bird are in the lane as expected, so they're only going to have 9 lap last stints. Like to keep our eyes on Brian Borg as well. He looks like he's fuel saving massively, as he's going to need to do 11 laps.
We'll just jump on board with Brian into turn 1, see if he's lifting out early, or how